family, Cash Machine, and my channel is called Follow the Money. We out here on a Monday morning. This is exactly the kind of lifestyle I like to live. On Monday morning, when most people out there working and hustling and stressing themselves out to almost having a stroke and a heart attack, entrepreneurs are just taking Mondays easy. I was just watching a video on Africa, and there's a black woman that moved to Africa, a couple of black women that moved to Africa, and they talking about how there's only a 3-day work week. Now, I was noticing when I was in Paris in France that they take lunch, they take long lunch breaks, and they work probably only about 4 days a week too. And I think that we work too hard in America because the things are so costly. Everything costs so much. Now, I was watching the Robert F. Kennedy speech, and I wanted to bring it to you guys' attention what I saw on that Robert F. Kennedy speech. Robert F. Kennedy started off his speech, and you know, he's got a kind of distorted voice. I don't know what happened to his vocal cords, but he's got an issue with his vocal cords. But I think everybody in this country pretty much loved John F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, and the Kennedy family. Were pretty much the royal family here in America. And I listened to Robert F. Kennedy's speech, and as he talked about his father, and he talked about, which was Robert F. Kennedy, and he talked about John F. Kennedy and how they were Democrats, and for some reason, it's been in the history of black people for the last 60 years, we've been Democrats, and we've just been loyal to the Democratic Party. But in the last, I would say, 20 or 30 years, the Democratic Party hasn't been loyal to us. So we need to reevaluate and rethink what's going on. But just to revamp about the Robert F. Kennedy speech, he said that the Democratic Party was the party of his father and uncle, and it used to be the party that stood for freedom of speech, it stood for liberation, it stood for the reinforcement of the Constitution. The Democratic Party used to be for the freedom of assembly, and it used to be that party that represented the people. But right now, I don't see that. I haven't seen that with the Democratic Party in a long time. And I'm a fact finder. I'm a researcher. I'm a person that researches the facts. Now, right now, we notice that in ancient Rome, the ancient Roman Empire is an example of America in a sense, because the ancient Roman Empire was the most strongest empire on the planet, and that empire did not decay or didn't fall to external forces, exterior forces. It actually decayed and it eroded from within. It imploded. So that's kind of like what I'm seeing right here in this country as well. I'm seeing that there's no military force that can take out America. There's no military force that can take, there's no external force that can take out America. Our military force, our sophistication, our technology is bar none advanced of anybody. And Theodore Roosevelt said that America would not be taken out from an external force, but it would be an internal force, or internally implode. That's basically what he was saying. And I'm seeing that. I'm seeing that happen right now. I'm seeing in America, the American democracy in America, capitalism in America, freedom in America. It's not being really threatened by any external force. It's being threatened by internal corruption. Internal corruption. I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about. If you guys remember when the pandemic happened and they shut down everything in the world, that had never happened ever in the history of the world, to shut down the entire world for a pandemic. They didn't shut it down for AIDS. AIDS was more devastating than I believe COVID was. And they didn't shut it down for the bird flu that happened back in the history. They didn't shut it down for Ebola, but they shut down the entire ecosystem in the world, and America in general forced people, which is against your constitutional rights. They forced people to take those vaccinations, which is again a sinister plan to attack the freedoms of the people. So America has changed this agenda a lot. So we have to really be careful as to protecting the democracy. And the only democratic, really, well, I'm not gonna say the only democratic, but Europe has a democratic system that's being challenged as well by corruption, by money, by different forces that have a total different idea of what the people should be doing. So Kennedy made that speech that he knew he's not going to win, and he don't want to be the dividing factor, because sometimes you have certain candidates that's just a distraction. They take away votes from one of the main parties, which is Democrat or Republican. They take away the votes, and sometimes they can be the deciding factor in who wins. So I thought it was brilliant that Robert F. Kennedy decided to drop out the race and give his support to one of the candidates, which he decided to support Donald Trump, because again, you guys, right now in America, we're looking at a time when our freedoms are being threatened. And for some reason, the media is trying to make Trump the bad guy. But as I can remember back in the 80s, Donald Trump was the only guy that was really giving loans to black companies. He was giving loans to black businesses when banks wasn't giving loans to black businesses. He was hanging out with Russell Simmons. He's always been with Reggie Jackson, and all different type of black celebrities were always around Donald Trump for some reason. So that doesn't sound like, to me, a racist type of person. And in fact, people forgot, you already forgot, he's given more money to the black colleges than any other president ever in the history of the United States. He's given more funds. And in fact, I think every year, the black colleges have to go to Congress to renew their contracts to get funds for the historical black colleges. Well, Donald Trump said, no, we're not going to do that no more. We're just going to write you a big check where you don't have to come back every year. I mean, for some reason, the media is clowning the facts, and the people don't do no research. And they doing all that. What they're doing basically is going by everything that the media is telling them, and they're not doing any fact finding on their own. Now, I thought it was quite interesting that Kamala Harris decided to now she's saying she's going to not tax the tips, which Donald Trump was the one who initiated that idea to not tax tips. But if you look and do your research, Kamala Harris was the one that actually signed that bill to tax people tips. And also Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have hired 76, I think 86 or 76,000 more IRS agents at a time when people are struggling. So they're going to put more muscle on people at a time when people are struggling. There's already like 86,000, I think 86,000 IRS agents. They doubled it. They're going to double it at a time to harass people at a time when people are barely making it. What's really going on, man? And so again, like I said, you have this attitude now where these congressmen are being bought out by corporations, being bought out by certain agendas, and they're not for actually the people no more. They're just for big corporate America. They're for big pharma. They're for agendas, and that's not what democracy is about. The government is supposed to be for the people. The government is supposed to represent the people. That's what the government is supposed to be in a democratic system. Now, if we don't have a democratic system, then tell me we don't have a democratic system. Tell me we have an oligarchy where there's families, where there's corporations that run this country. Let me know the truth. Don't say we have one thing, but we actually doing something else. So basically the way things are operating right now with the Democratic Party, it's almost moving like an oligarchy, where there's certain families that's telling the congressmen what to pass, what to do, and this is not how a democracy works. So this is why we have so much turmoil in this country, because the media is actually working for those families that have the money. You got to do your research. It's no coincidence that there's 6 major corporations that owns every network, every radio station, every TV station are owned by only 6 corporations. So this is right now the problem we have right now with censoring. That's why they censor so much, because they have an agenda, and they have this. They have these people in their pocket. They're making money on these people. They're guiding and directing the narrative of the masses. When you need to be doing your own research, you need to be doing your own research. You need to be doing your own fact finding. You don't need to listen to what they're telling you on the media because I heard, what's that guy name? I heard a guy say last week, if you reverse everything the media telling you, if the media show you who's the bad guy, you say he's the good guy. And if the media say this guy is a good guy and you say he's a bad guy, 99% of the time you'll be right. Damn. So this is what this is how we living in America right now. Look at the bubbles. The little kid got all these bubbles. So yeah, this is what's going on in the United States right now. We gotta really be careful, and we gotta really watch the narrative that's being spent around to us, because for some reason we're getting propaganda. And if you study what happened in Russia, Hitler started the propaganda machines. This is how he was able to do what he did. He had to first create propaganda. He had to first control the media. So again, you guys, I think I take my hat off to Robert F. Kennedy for bowing out of the actual election. And I heard him say he had to pay $10 million. He was fighting the Democratic Party for some reasons. I don't know why. I guess they were mad that he was not anymore being a part of that party. He decided to go independent because he sees the corruption. See, when you got people inside of a party that turns away from that party, something really wrong. Something really is going on. Something going on that's not representing the core values of that particular organization. And so this is why right now you have to be able to make your own decision based on your own facts and not what the media is telling you. And that's why I'm just here to say right now, it's really a turbulent time in this country. Things can go really, really sour. I'm focusing on my money. I'm focusing on helping people get money. I'm focusing on uplifting people economically. I'm focusing on elevating people and getting people to another level in life. Because without any money, ain't nothing can happen in your life positive. It's just like money is the key factor to so much different things going on in your life. So if you're not able to elevate your situation economically, then things are looking pretty bleak and pretty gloom for you right now. So the Family Cash Machine right now, I'm going to be starting my own group. We had over 600 people at one time before COVID. We taught a lot of people about crypto. We taught a lot of people how to make money. We taught a lot of people how to get into these technologies, AI and all this different stuff, and position themselves for what is the greatest exchange of wealth happening right now. So right now, I'm getting ready to start, again, some courses. It's a bill monthly charge, maybe $35, $40 a month, but the type of information you're going to get is going to be phenomenal. It's going to be phenomenal, and you'll be able to be in control of your own economy, and you'll be able to write your own financial destination. So I'm not going to talk too much longer, you guys. So you do your own due diligence and find out what's going on in this world. This EB Crypto. I'm going to talk to you guys later. Family Cash Machine, follow the money. Deuces.